Super Videos back at you for another video. In this video, I'm going to be talking about how brutal do I think the death from the mid-season finale is going to be. Now, this video is going to include a lot of comic spoilers, so if you're not caught up with the comic book to around this time period, or if you don't want to know about the comic book, you may not want to watch this video because I'm going to be spoiling some things for you. So, of course, from the comics, we know that at this point in the story, when Negan comes to Alexandria for the second time, that's when Spencer gets his gut seen and he basically dies by the hand of Negan with a knife to the guts. Now, the question is, how brutal is that death going to be? Because, of course, from the premiere of Season 7, they've actually received a lot of backlash for how brutal it was, how dark it was, and how gruesome it was. But if we look at when they actually filmed this episode was filmed before the premiere aired. So when they filmed this episode, they had no idea about the backlash that the premiere was going to receive. Of course, they knew that it was going to get some backlash, but not to the extent that it actually received. So because of that, I think that's not going to affect how gruesome this death is going to be and how brutal it's going to be. Now, that actually may affect how dark and gruesome the episodes at the end of the season are going to be, because those have been filmed after the premiere aired, like episode 14, 15, 16, I think. But in terms of the next episode, I don't think it's going to affect it. In the comics, of course, we see Negan just gutting Spencer right open, and there's just his intestines and everything is on the floor. And it's similar to what happened to Nicholas when we had the Glenn fake-out death. So it's close to that death in some ways. I think, like I said, they're going to stay true to the comics for this, and they're not going to be restricted on how gruesome it's going to be based on the backlash they've been receiving from the premiere and how dark and gruesome it was. Now, there's also been rumors or speculations of a double death as well in this episode. Now, the only reason I know this is because someone commented in the comment section and basically spoiled it for me. So I actually know the two people, if the spoiler is correct. So that's why I ask everyone to at least put a spoiler tag when you're talking about spoilers. It doesn't matter if it's comic spoilers. It doesn't matter if it's actual TV show spoilers. Just put a tag on it, because if you don't, then I'm not going to know. So I'm just going to read and it's going to spoil it for me. And others will read the comments, and we don't want people to be spoiled, because if these things do happen, we want them to have that shock, we want them to have that surprise, and if the spoiler is just there, that's not gonna have that same effect on them. So please put tags on it. I'm asking you not to put any spoilers, but if you do, please put a spoiler tag on it, because you don't want to spoil it for others who don't want to know. If we wanted to know, we would definitely go and check it out. We know where it is. We know this stuff comes from the Spoiling Dead fans site. So if we want to know about it, we would go and check it out. If we don't, that means we don't want to know about it. Don't go ahead and spoil it for us. Like I said, it looks like we're going to get a double death, much like we got a double death in the premiere. Now, I think the double death thing has been used way too much now. I'm not going to go into detail because we still don't know if that's going to happen or not. But if the double death does happen in tonight's episode, then I just feel like they've been overplaying that double death scenario way too much, and they need to stop it, because at this point, we know now, if there's going to be a big comic death, there's going to be another death with it. So it's not going to have the same shock value. But like I said, in terms of what this video is about, which is how gruesome it's going to be, I think it's going to be gruesome. They're going to stay true to the comics and make it panel by panel the same as it was in the comics. They may remix some things like the dialogue a bit, but I think the main things that are in that scene are going to be the same from the comics. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching. I'll be back for another video.